Oh my god, I'm tired. Always tired. I don't know why I stream so early. It's not early. It's only like noon. To me, it's early. I don't fucking know why, but to me, it's early. And also, what is this sand shit that's on my... Oh god, this is a very fun story for me. I always love this story because it's kind of it's not cool. It's not cool. It's a bad story, but it's fun. This is the story of my first concussion. At least I think it was my first concussion. Obviously, I didn't go to a fucking doctor's because I never go to the doctors for anything. So I self, what is it called? When you self-examine myself? I don't know. So here's how the story goes. It's not that crazy. It'll make sense when I tell you what happened, but essentially I was at a metal show. Boom, there we go. Enough said, right? Enough said. No, I was at a metal show, and I'll tell you the band I went to go see if anybody happens to know metal bands and whatnot. I went to go see Black Dahlia Murder. They're pretty brutal. They're pretty nuts. And I went to go see them. This was my very first metal concert I've ever gone to. And I was 16 years old. I was in high school. 16 years old. I went to go see Black Dahlia Murder. So I was excited because I was also going with a bunch of my high school friends, you know, and I don't think I've ever gone to a concert without my parents. So this is what is going to be a completely new experience for me. The show was very fun. There was a lot of things that was enjoyable about the show. I mean, obviously, first and foremost, after the first band, the bands were playing very well. Like I said, after the first band, I did not like the first band. Cannabis Corpse and then All Shall Perish. All Shall Perish was nuts. I'm glad I was conscious for their entire set because their shit was so fucking good. Listen, I don't know if you've ever been to a metal concert, but if you've never been to a metal concert, go to a metal concert. You'll never experience like the best that live music has to offer unless you go to a metal show. And I'm not kidding either. Metal shows are to go above and fucking beyond. They make you feel emotions that you never thought you could feel. They make you just want to do things that you never thought you could do. And it's also extremely impressive to see the musicians as well because they're playing some redonkulous ass shit. If you're going to see a good metal band, you know, the first metal band that we saw that night was not good. So they finished playing, and then finally the last band goes up. And the entire time that this show is going on, I'm in the mosh pit. I'm moshing. I'm having a fucking blast. We're going in and look at this little circle pit, you know, a little back and forth, all this crazy shit. My adrenaline is so goddamn high, it's insane. It didn't feel at the point where the final band, the main headline, finally came up. It didn't feel like 3 hours had passed. It only felt like 20 minutes. It was crazy. So then, of course, the final band comes up and they start playing, and it's just crazy. It goes insane. We're all losing our fucking minds. Okay. I, for some reason, decide to pick a fight, quote unquote fight. It was not a fight. I decided to pick a fight with the one of the biggest guys there, the biggest motherfucker there. This is one of those where like he got like a no neck, and he like his arms were like the size of fucking big old fucking tubes. Like it was insane. He had to have weighed like 500 pounds. He had to have weighed that much. It was ridiculous. This guy was massive, and for some reason I looked at him. I made eye contact with this guy. I'm like, coming for you. I'm fucking ran towards him. I bolted at his ass because for some reason I wanted to try to tackle him. I don't know why. I don't know why. Essentially what happened was I went around his waist, and this guy was also like a foot taller than I am. So this guy was like 7 feet tall. This guy was massive. He doesn't move. Duh. Of course he's not gonna fucking move because he's massive. So he doesn't move. Instead, what he does is he wraps around my stomach, he lifts me up, and then he just throws me, just tosses me across the concrete floor. And I slid for like a good like 20 feet. This guy threw me. I was a bowling ball. I was his fucking bowling ball, basically. So when you go to a metal show, and you're in a mosh pit, people are very nice in a mosh pit. So they're gonna, if someone falls, they're gonna pick them up. So if someone trips over whatever or something and then they're on the ground, everyone's gonna stop, help you up, and then keep going. That's usually how a mosh pit goes. If obviously you're hitting each other, you're fucking punching each other in the face and elbowing each other in the backs, and no dicks though. No, you're not hitting your dicks. We're not hitting your balls. That's off bounds. Everybody in a mosh pit knows that. There's actually like a couple of really interesting like unspoken rules about the mosh pit. First and foremost, of course, if someone falls, you pick them up. That is rule number 1. Rule number 2 being you don't go for someone's dick and balls. That's off limits. You don't go for that. Rule number 3, if you're in the middle of a mosh pit, swinging your arms like doing the helicopter, like this, you are going to get your shit fucking popped. And not a single person is gonna help you. Because you're a fucking idiot. Don't do that. So I get thrown across the mosh pit, okay? And it's totally fine. Totally okay. Like, whatever. Like, I tried my best at the biggest guy there. For some reason, I treated this mosh pit like jail, and I don't know. And now I'm down on the ground, and everyone, while this is happening, everyone's doing a circle pit. So everyone's running in a circle. You know, that's what a circle pit is, just literally everybody running in a circle. And everybody sees that I'm down, so everyone's gonna try to help me. There's one guy, though, who doesn't see me down, and he keeps running. And unfortunately, he runs right into my head. That's right, he knees me in the fucking cranium. Right here. Just knees me right in my fucking head. And that hurt like a bitch. That hurt so fucking... I remember how much it hurt. The worst part is the band had only played... This is their first song, so all of this transpired within the very, 3 minutes of the last band coming up. I stumbled off and I just sat down on a chair, okay? Sat down, and the whole time I was there, like, I was out of it. Just sitting back. And I remember my friends walking up to me and they said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I just sat down. I sat down and just listened to the last band finish their set. I didn't get up. I didn't get to enjoy it or anything. I just sat back as if I had a concussion. I'm not entirely sure of whether I did have a concussion or not. Like, of course, I got nailed in the head. Someone kneed me in the fucking head. Usually something like that would cause a concussion, you would assume. But that was my first metal show experience. And that shit was great. It was so much fun. I smelled like beer too at the end, so that was one of the funniest parts. When I went home, my mother was still awake and she smelled me. She's like, "Did you drink beer?" I'm like, "No. I went to a metal show. I got beer spilt on me like 3 fucking times." Like, that happens a lot, and it was just super great. Like, the whole time I'm like, and of course the whole time I'm walking around, I'm just like, yeah, stretching and shit, like, yeah, got metal show, yeah, oh yeah. It was honestly a phenomenal experience at 16 years of age. Absolutely loved it. That's the story of my I think my first concussion, maybe / first metal show. So yeah.